Welcome, everyone. I got a real special episode here. I want to say thank you to everyone. I got 300 subscribers now. I mean, it's pretty exciting. So, anyway, thanks a lot, guys and gals. Much appreciated. 9 years, 300. It's pretty sad. Given the amount of videos and effort I've put out, but I appreciate it, and it actually, I'm like, it's growing. Like, for a reference, let's say lifetime. I don't know if it actually lists them all. I think it depends on if the user is like makes it public or something of that nature. I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited for this, guys and gals. So, last night, I made this episode, Dragon's Eyes, where I was gonna start. I was gonna start talking about the Colorado Plateau, and the next thing I know, I'm all over the place, just in this disarray almost of just like all over the place. But I realized afterwards that I'd really like tied a lot of things together. Like it connected here, connected this in a way. Of added some new elements that not before. Connected this. So many things that were connected. Connected the symbols of things, like the shape here, and the third eye. That the third eye was there. Okay, so with that in mind, I made this today. I'm pretty happy with it. Half in the light, half in the shadows. Okay, so after this, I've been really busy, but I watched it immediately because I was like, I think that was a really important episode. And then I tried to reason through what I was talking about some, and I had a couple like aha type moments where I almost wanted to get out of bed and I forgot. So I tried to watch it again, but I did not have time to watch it today and to like focus on it. So I just kind of maybe I wrote down some things. Like I didn't mention that this current that seems to go across this way here to the northern portion of the Philippines for some reason, that it maybe does continue actually like deflect here and then go across into here, but then it goes down the drain to Sri Lanka. So I actually also connected that Sri Lanka aspect. I just didn't realize. I was looking at it like I guess it doesn't go through, but I thought about it and I'm like, no, I think it does go through. It's just, it literally goes through to the drain. Like this current goes over there and goes down this low gravity spot that seems to function somewhat like a drain. I had this thought, like if if Sri Lanka is Asgard, as I randomly stumbled upon thinking as a possibility, like it was Asgard, then one of the things I heard about as read about Asgard or something brought the thought to mind where it wasn't just like hanging out there, but it was like floating atop the world almost. And I was thinking maybe it was like held free hanging there somehow, and this current filled in that space that it was hanging in so that it's just an island now. Like some cool shit like that going on, pardon me. Okay, so I wrote that down. I don't want to get too distracted on things from yesterday because I really want. I also thought maybe this is a dragon with like a mouth open here. Like I've seen it as in the past as like this angle, like a snake head with the eye of the world there, but maybe also like a dragon breathing fire that also has that streak back that way. Interesting. Then I wrote bending on hinges. I don't know why I thought it. I think it was related to over here, like maybe what was happening. Like it's in line with this. I don't know if I wrote if I said this. So, it's in line with the Colombian River basalt entry point region, the Yellowstone, the Bighorn Mountain, and then, or maybe let me pull up this map and turn it actually this way. Okay, it's in this line, like coming across this way through the eyes, through Yellowstone, and then more so across this way, I guess, through these Yellowstone, Bighorn Mountain, and then this region that I forget what it's called, where Devil's Tower is, and then across to here, where like this region is in line, but it's really happening. Whatever is happening here, I believe, is pre this stuff, and I'm like, that's weird. That it would be in line, but not like a result of a flow going this way, because essentially, like a flow went this way, and then it went to Yellowstone, and that was about it in terms of that flow. Like it doesn't seem like related to what was going on in Wisconsin here, causing the driftless zone, which driftless area, which to me initially I was like maybe it was like magma flowing across this path, but like it wasn't in that sequence. So it's almost like it was literally like a hinge point. That's what it gave me the thought. Like maybe there was a current that was flowing there, but it like turned, but it turned in a way where like the path of the original current and the path of the subsequent current are to this chakra hinge point, and it ended up just not making it to it this time, but it was in the same line as it. So I had that thought. I just thought I'd maybe record it real quick. But now, hopefully, I can play this. I'm gonna play this after. So I looked into Nidhogg, and it led me to. I was like, maybe I'll just see if there's any YouTube videos. And this video is Excellence by Ocean Keltoy. Awesome video.
Nidhogg is among the most mysterious names in Norse mythology. Scholar Rudolf Simic translates his name as the one striking full of hatred, and every passage of him invokes a sense of cosmic horror. Even though little is known about him, it is worth exploring.
Striking full of hatred. I did not have this thought, but Nidhogg, right, is here. But like if you remove this region it just wasn't formed yet. So maybe, and that was basically around the KT boundary. So striking with whatever, what did he say? Striking with,
as the one striking full of hatred, and
striking full of hatred. Just, this is the KT boundary. Ragnarok is here.
every passage of him invokes a sense of cosmic horror. Even though little is
Because essentially, how I'm coming to interpret it, like the story of the gods in like Norse mythology seems to be related to basically like people knowing that there's a ticking time bomb onto the earth itself. Because they knew it was attacked with a Brahmastra, like I want to say inadvertently, like someone charged it up to use it, and then they had to discharge it, and then they just discharged it, and then from there forward in the Ramayana, it was just like a thing that was happening. But it's just like, uh-oh. So then like they know there's this time where the flood's gonna happen. So Nidhogg, like, they know North America is gonna form as North America, and when that happens, it's really game over. Like the flood is here. They know that. So maybe striking with hatred, like destroying the world. Reset button, pretty much going back to what they knew was coming.
is known about him, it is worth exploring what little we have. Nidhogg is said to be a great dragon, or cosmic serpent, resting at the base of Yggdrasil. These passages recorded by Snorri
Okay, we already talked about that in the Ragnarok episode. How how the bird is at the top of the tree of over here, Birdman, and then the male deer, I forget what, the stag eating at the leaves of the tree. With Nidhogg at the roots. So like opposite.
mentioned the suffering endured by Yggdrasil as stags eat at its leaves and Nidhogg eats away at it from below. And at the top of Yggdrasil sits a mighty eagle with a hawk sitting between its eyes. This hawk is only mentioned by Snorri, and its name, Vedarfolnir, means storm pale, as in pale, not bucket. But anyway, the eagle, however, remains unnamed, and unfortunately, the meaning of the eagle and hawk have been lost to time. Mentioned the suffering endured by Yggdrasil as stags eat at its leaves and Nidhogg eats away at it from below. And at the top of Yggdrasil sits a mighty eagle with a hawk sitting between its eyes. This hawk is only mentioned by Snorri, and its name, Vedarfolnir, means storm pale, as in pale, not bucket. But anyway.
Okay. So, I'm not sure. I don't know if I picked up on this in the past with regard to what we're talking about. Let's go this way. Here's the Birdman. So the eagle in the at the top of the Yggdrasil. I think the Ragnarok episode, Ragnarok. I only realized the eagle. So here's the eagle. The Birdman. but like there's a bird in its eye. So if we go the other way, I'll turn it around. There's literally a bird. I mean, is it a falcon? And Gurnar, the storm pale. I mean, are we sure it doesn't mean bucket? Because there's a lot of energy that went down this location, like exchanging, drawing up Gurnar, but going down this storm's energy being discharged into the terminal that was forming in like the result of the process. In Norse mythology, Stormpale Vedrafjordur Stormpale Wind Bleached or Wind Witherer is a hawk sitting between the eyes of an unnamed eagle that is perched on top of the world tree Yggdrasil. So then it just goes on. Here's an example. Eagle is again attested to here. Let's see what this is. Ratatosk is the squirrel who there shall run on the ash tree Yggdrasil. From above the words of the eagle he bears and tells them to Nidhogg beneath. The eagle is again attested in chapter 16 of the Prose Edda book. That one. There is much to be told. An eagle sits at the top of the ash. The top of the ash. Like maybe the mantle puncture hole. I mean, it's not really atop it. Maybe the Himalayas, the Tibetan Plateau, maybe this thing in the Tarim Basin region where there's this like opening. I don't know. I'm not sure why that would be ash. I just thinking about possibilities. And it has knowledge of many things. Between its eyes sits the hawk called Stormpale, the squirrel called Ratatosk, runs up and down the ash. He tells slanderous gossip, provoking the eagle and Nidhogg. Oh my god. Incredible. Incredible. So I realized I had this thought and I wrote it down because maybe we'll watch some more because I wrote it down.
The eagle, however, remains unnamed, and unfortunately, the meaning of the eagle and hawk have been lost to time. We do understand, however, that Nidhogg and the eagle seem to be intelligent forces as they send malicious messages back and forth to one another, carried by the tenacious Ratatosk, a squirrel running up and down the length of the tree. And the squirrel is used by these two great powers who, for whatever reason, wish to express their anger toward one another without moving from their places on the Yggdrasil. My personal headcanon for Ratatosk is that
Without moving from their places. Okay.
he's a little forgetful, and that the messages between the eagle and Nidhogg are actually complements, and they're trying to work out the issues between one another. But Ratatosk and his squirrel brain keep screwing it up and delivering gross misinterpretations of their words that come off as insults. And they're constantly trying to de escalate and sending nice messages back and forth, but to no avail, as Ratatosk keeps getting distracted and he doesn't write anything down because he figured he'd remember it. Someone's going to get mad at me for that, but probably not as mad as they will be about this merch drop. I have no idea how to do like a product insert or whatever, but I do have a Redbubble, and we did just create some new designs for it for the spooky season, so feel free to check it out in the link below. Something that could be described as chewing on the roots of
It's only fair. It's only fair.
Yggdrasil, the world, the base of all existence, invokes an image of a being so incomprehensibly large that it inspires an awe on a scale of cosmic horror. Something that even trying to imagine might put you in an existential whirlwind. Snorri's comments on him seem to suggest that there's an association between him and the afterlife, and this offers us an interesting window into what Nidhogg may represent. The multiplicity.
Okay, okay. So, pardon me for pausing there, sir. So, here's the eagle, who, by the way, has an earring here, where basically the current, I believe, when the storm, there's so many details. Let's see, let's pull some details up. I'm a little tired, but I got stuff to do tomorrow, so I'm just doing this now. What am I doing? I'm looking for maybe here. This is good. Earring of the Birdman with the currents going out that way. This is episode The Birdman. And also leg day regarding legs. But the earring, maybe he's getting whispered in the ear here. At the earring region, there's I believe, essentially there's a storm. The Dwarka's here, gets attacked by a vortex weapon. The vortex moves over here, and then sits here exchanging energy. And then it moves over here. And then it moves over here. And then it suddenly goes over this way to down here. But it follows a trail. This is just rapid, like pretty much all happening at the KT boundary, where this is 550 to the KT boundary. I believe that's my interpretation, although I'm not sure if that totally aligns with the Ramayana. Although maybe if I considered farther back in time as still, I don't know. I'm not sure what to think of it all. Time-wise, like actual, like precisely how long we've been on the earth, things of that nature. Timing is difficult. Okay, so the earring thing, and then maybe even like it comes up here to Palatina, or these places. I think Palatina's over here, maybe. I forget where places are. I think it's over here, especially without names. Whatever. But to these mounds, these plutonic complexes that I talk about, where are they? They're somewhere around here. They're subtle. feel like I saw them initially. They're not. They're like before this. They get caught up on this location, so maybe that's more actually at the ear. But there's certainly like an actual energy exchange into the earring region, which makes me think of like whispering in the ear kind of thing. So mind you, this is the Dwarka storm moving and directing the undercurrents that are flowing out of the mantle puncture hole, directing the currents atop the surface of making the head pretty much, and then whispering in the head. And then, meanwhile, over here in the fountains of the deep, so this is just like, just all of the connectedness of these things. It's almost like it's all coming together, even though I still don't know, like, anything besides the cool information. Like, in terms of healing society with cool information, like technology. No, I don't know. Just cool information. So the fountains of the deep flow. I'm pretty sure this flows this way and then goes here, like based on what I've been talking about recent episodes. Goes over here, goes up here, and holds the Gandalf staff boundary. So the any of the episodes talking about here, eye to eye, snake eyes, this region, and then the Fountain of the Deep and Jormonger. So then Jormonger brings me, just because, like, I don't know why, I don't even know why. It just made me think of the Jormonger, I guess, where I saw the term and was like, yes, but I think it just popped in my head. Like that snake, I don't know. Anyway. But then I name it that, so then the Ragnarok comes along, and now we're looking at this stuff. So now we have this current flow going this way, up here, creating this region of the Gandalf staff. But if we look at the dragon, basically eye, nostril. So I realized I was saying nostril down here for some reason. I guess it could have like a really elongated nose, but I really look at it like here's a nostril, here's a nostril. This is probably just more smoke as a whole, like this. I was thinking maybe this is like a lower lip and like there's a boundary of an upper lip here, but I don't know. But then, like, here's an ear that the current is coming in. So this current is going into the ear of the dragon through the eye. The dragon is then seeing it, and then it's interacting with the dragon's third eye, as well as with their sense of smell. And then he's breathing fire. I mean, I don't think the current is actually in line like that, where it's going in that direction. But maybe I'm misinterpreting things. Okay, then. So now we've got the dragon, Nidhogg. We've got the eagle and the hawk. This one. And we've got the squirrel whispering in their ears of the current flow that is traveling throughout the earth, like going this way, like along this path. It's kind of like a tunnel, like a chant. Like it's not that big. I mean, overall it like flowed out in all directions, but it ended up producing these channels that are like the squirrels traveling through. And then the channels and the squirrel ended up going in the ear of Nidhogg. And in the ear of the bird. So, I'm gonna go ahead and stop this. Okay, I'll let you open your eye. Pardon me, sir. But I appreciate it. I know he didn't give me permission and I just do reactions with reactions. In this case, it was maybe not completely a reaction, but I definitely played a substantial amount of it. Um, but he went on to say something where rather than it being insults, that he believes maybe they were trying to compliment one another, and then like the way the squirrel being squirrel brained forgot and just instead kept like transmitting insults instead. So it's kind of like they were trying to balance out, like the system of this, the Earth was trying to heal itself of the wound, but then basically the KT boundary happened. And so instead, the Earth expanded to a new radius, and then an equilibrium occurred. But now we've got the fully formed Nidhogg and the Birdman with the Hawkeye. That is so cool. Okay, before I stop, I was just thinking about just stopping. I was thinking about stopping. Like, yeah, it's good, make it short and sweet. But I was really, 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 really thinking about this. Like, I think the currents are. I realized if I look over here, this path goes this way and leads to the Mariana Trench. But then, like, this path to the bottom of the Mariana Trench goes this way, this way, this way. And then it kind of comes down here. It must run into resistance to be doing that. So, like, the current gets deflected above another current going this way. Like, it goes down to right around here, and then it kind of disappears. And then there's this. But then what's crazy is if we look at these seamounts, well, if we look at just generally these streams. Like this one is the dragon that we've talked about, but then there's it kind of continues over here, and then there's this other one over here. But this one's fascinating because notably it goes from basically around the top of the Mariana Trench, like around here, and then it goes across, I guess, through these. Across this way, across, and then it arrives at pretty much these things. And like the width of this goes over to this one. I'm like, that's related. What the? Does that mean these currents are involved? So then I was like, does that mean the Mariana Trench current is actually focusing in on one point over here and being fed through like channels? Like maybe it comes in pools, but ultimately creates channels through to continue to transmit the energy, and it just gets more and more narrow streamed to the point where it has like inlet streams over here from like the Mariana Trench. The current producing the Mariana Trench. Trents. Cross hither, over hither, to finally hither. And then this one goes over to the dragon. I don't want to just sit here looking at this. I feel like there's something major that I'm just not quite realizing. It's kind of funny, like I was thinking earlier, this here, I didn't know this. I didn't know this. I didn't know this. How long have I been talking about this bird and this bird and how there's two birds? Although someone, I think it was Echo maybe, first pointed that out to me. Someone pointed that out to me on a stream, when I streamed, I think. Echo Jr. maybe? I think it was Echo. I think that's your username, if you hear this. Was something of that nature. Anyway. See what kind of imagery we get. There's this one. Odin sacrificing himself upon the sacred world tree. Erderbrunner. Oops. I guess that works. Is a well created in digging mantle puncture hole kind of well. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Can we YouTube this? Is there a YouTube video for this? There's. I need a like actual mythology, mysticism. Okay, metal band. Looks like probably not. Okay. Time 'tis to discourse from the preacher's chair. By the well of Erd I silent sat. I saw and meditated. I listened to men's words. Whoa. By I saw and meditated. I saw this fucking mantle puncture hole outcome in front of my face. And I meditated. What in the fuck? I don't know if that's. Let's see. Let's go to the beginning. Referring to Germanic concept of fate. Norns are Norse deities responsible for shaping the course of human destinies. One of the Norns in Norse mythology, described as deciding. Both sources, the well lies beneath the world tree and is associated with a trio of Norns. Erderbrunner is cited as one of 3 wells existing beneath 3 roots of Yggdrasil. Okay, 3 wells. We have seen another well at the mantle puncture hole. Honestly, we've got 3 wells. We got the drain. 1, 2, and then we got this one. We got 3. Existing beneath the 3 roots of Yggdrasil that reach into 3 distant different lands. Although 2 of them are rather close, but not that close. Plus the Asgard floating island thing concept, where I also like they talked of it like it was the cosmos, like they're in the cosmos, because they basically were. I think like truly like they understood, and it was still the earth. Oh my god. Like traveling the cosmos. Like they literally lived on different worlds, planets. Like they use terminology that we use for like Mars, Venus, Earth, but to describe portions of the earth as if they were aware that Earth is composed of many planets and parts, where they then like acknowledged it in a way where it's like deeply rooted for reasons that are maybe because it's important to see the nuance and things like that. Okay. Located beneath the... okay, wait. Other two wells being this one located beneath a root in Niflheim. Sometimes overlaps with the notions of Niflhel and Hell. So I've definitely thought maybe South America because of the flame, the fire, literally a fire. Like there's a flame here. It just gives me the impression of it being that place, so maybe, although this has two wells being, oh, okay, that's this well located beneath here, so maybe this is the one that punctures the mantle next to South America, relating to the formation of Hawaii and this thing going on at the adjacent to it, and this, and then the other one located beneath a root near the home of the frost jotnar, a Juten. Let's see what this is. A little bit. Type of supernatural being. They are often contrasted with gods and other non-human figures. Although the group, okay, so maybe these are basically Asgard. Maybe this one's Asgard. Contrasted with gods, but basically Asgard. Like it's the same. Although maybe, okay, these are maybe their gods equivalent, like the Asgardian. Although the groupings are not always mutually exclusive, the entities themselves are referred to by several other terms. Trollif male, Gigor, Trollkon, dwells across boundaries from the gods and humans in lands such as Jotunheim. I feel like, why do I know this? Why do I know these terms? I don't know. Frequently attested through the Old Norse record, also read epic poem Beowulf. What is happening? Oh my god. It's like the words that just keep coming up. Beowulf just came up again. Like Sri Lanka and resplendent. Resplendent. Okay. The term giant is sometimes used to gloss the word Okay, so maybe this just gives another angle of how to see giants. Like, also that aspect, just adding credence to that they're not necessarily physically large. So maybe Antarctica has something. That's right, we were here. Okay, I was like, where was I? Okay. So that one that doesn't immediately fit in it, like, well associated with the being mimer beneath mimer. What wouldst thou ask me? Why tempest thou me? Odin, I know all. Where thou thine eye didst sink in the pure well of mime. Drinks from mead each morn. She knows that Heimdall's horn is hidden under the heaven bright holy tree. Heaven bright holy tree. Yggdrasil. A river she sees flow with foamy fall from Valfather's pledge, Odin. Understand ye yet or what? A river she sees flow. Okay, wait, let's go back. She knows that Heimdall's horn is hidden under the heaven bright holy tree. A river she sees flow. Wait, this. Okay. With foamy fall. Okay, let's maybe look at another translation. I know of the horn of Heimdall, hidden under the high-reaching holy tree. On it there pours from Valfather's pledge a mighty stream. Would you know yet more? She knows that Heimdall's hearing is hidden under the radiant sacred tree. Oh. Hearing. Like the Birdman and so maybe Heimdall is there's so many things to connect to like to bring up that is like a pain to not talk about in depth. I don't want to talk about in depth. I mean, like, but I want to bring it up. Recently I came across a paper, a technical paper that suggested there were some kind of like mountains underneath Antarctica. Like at the maybe no. I don't know if I can find. Oh, this one. This one. Okay, this one. That one. Maybe this. Maybe this is it. Like in that, whatever their study is finding. This, like. It's all the way at the core mantle boundary, so it's basically at the bottom of the core. Hearing hidden under the radiant sacred tree. Which to me is like the crust itself, maybe. Like the whole of the tree basically is on the Earth's outer layer. Like in terms of the angle of perception to see the Earth from the appropriate angle that is being referred to from is like from this angle, not from underneath. So, like the crust. So, hidden under the tree, she sees pouring down the muddy torrent from the wager of father of the slain. Do you understand yet, or what more? Perhaps meant to be. All very mysterious and obscure as it was perhaps meant to be. It's very, like, what? It's very obscure and mysterious and just like short to the point and done. Like, what? Odin, Odin's eye is hidden deep in the wide famed well of Mimir. Mead from the pledge of Odin each morn. Does Mimir drink? Would you know yet more? Whoa. Beheaded during. Maybe this is the Ramayana. Afterward, the god Odin carries around Mimir's head and it recites secret knowledge and counsel to him. God Odin loses his eye. You know, if anyone. I know that's kind of ridiculous, and it doesn't fit in the same way. It just came to mind because, like, over here, we've got the eye of this ammonite, but over here, it's not there anymore. Like, it's lost. A lost eye that we can still see it here from a time past, but now there's another eye. Although they probably didn't simultaneously exist ever. Maybe. Maybe. Mimir and mime represent. Okay, so let's go back now. Of what in the poem of Volva recounts to Ode of Volva. Seeress. A seer is S. Is a woman said to have the ability to foretell future events and perform sorcery. They are also referred to with many other names, meaning prophetess, staff bearer, wise woman, and sorceress. Okay. Recounts to Odin that she knows that Odin once placed one of his eyes in Mimis Brunner's as a pledge. That Mimir drinks from the well every morning. Of what wouldst thou ask me? Why temptest thou me, Odin? I know all. Where thine eye didst sink in the pure well of mime. know where Odin's eye is hidden, deep in the wide-famed well of Mimir. Mead from the pledge of Odin each morn. Does Mimir drink? Would you know yet more? It's just bringing to mind like the pure well. Mine eye did sink. Maybe mine eye is sunk and scattered in the pure well of Mimir. Whoa. Oh my god, the detail. And this picture's detailed. Thanks, y'all. Whoa. Belt buckle. Belt buckle. Noobs. Sorry. I'm just like, it must have been a time. There must have been a time where things like this weren't just belt buckles. Like they had a purpose. It's really interesting. It's divided in half down the middle, like a current flowed through it and broke it. Or just snapped, I guess. But if it's gold, that's kind of weird. I don't know if it's gold. I guess it's probably not gold. More details. Migration period, fibula. Depicting the Norse god Odin and his two ravens, Hugin and Munin, found in the Finistorp sacrificial bog during the archaeological excavations. Why is it called? It was called like the archaeologist interprets. Two ravens. Could there be any raven-like thing here? Like here with wings spanned out? I mean, I would like it to be. I just don't think it's that good. That one though, that looks like one. Eyeball, beak, wing. This even has data I guess. And then it's... Where was I just noticing what looked like feet? Oh, it was over here. It's like, is this feet? That's what brought me up here. I mean, I guess this could be one. Maybe some other structure. In a similar pose, just like repeated, larger and subtler and different. Maybe even out here. Then it would be like to his side too. If these were his eyes, Odin's eyes. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going forever and ever. I never sleep, I'm going to die. Fuck my life, I'm an idiot. Honestly, that's not even like... I'm just looking at these different angles now. Now that I've wrote that brilliant song. Does have like long... That's probably something of note. The separation in the long, dark feathers. I don't see any raven surrounding it, but okay. I gotta go. I was too excited to look into these things. So, see y'all later. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the 300 subscribers. Peace.